am Dr. Joan Coleman, and the Exchange is exciting.
I'm Denise Cavalier. The Exchange is real.
I'm Carolyn Poiker. The Exchange is empowering.
I'm Donna Hutchinson. The Exchange is thought-provoking.
The Exchange, a Let Me Be Me podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Exchange, a Let Me Be Me podcast. We are so excited to be here today, and we have our wonderful ladies with us. We have Donna Hutchinson, Denise Cavalier, and Carolyn Poiker. Now, we are going to get into some information. I just introduced the ladies. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Right now, we're going to get into who these ladies really are. So, Donna, tell us about yourself.
Oh, my name is Donna Hutchinson. I am a yoga instructor, a mother of two. I actually was pregnant with my first daughter during yoga teacher training. The training was 9 months. I graduated on Sunday and had her on Monday. So short of anything, that will probably be my most productive 24 hours in life. This is since yoga teacher training led me to learn how to public speak, which thankfully was in disguise. I wouldn't have done it on its own. So thankfully I got to do it through teaching, and since then has kind of morphed into something like this, coming out and getting to speak about mindset and perspective and all that good stuff. So I'm so excited to be here with you, Dr. Joan.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. So before we go on to the other ladies, how was it with the second child? Was it as adventurous and exciting?
I loved two. I loved two more than I loved one. One, I was like a fish out of water. Two was, I was like, I can do this. I keep telling my husband we need to have another because I'll just be totally fine this time around. But you know, I think he's good with two girls and me. That's a lot to handle.
That's three women.
Yes.
Carolyn, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Poiker. I'm an aromatherapist and a lover of really all plant medicine. I'm a wife and a mother, and I have three boys, all teenagers. The younger two are twins. And they say, you know, that God doesn't give you more than you can handle. But I think sometimes, maybe, he's pushed me to my limit. But my kids all have a lot of learning differences and neurological challenges and some rare disorders. But I don't know, motherhood is like kind of the best. And through my journey of actually healing my own self and my children is how I discovered aromatherapy and plant medicine. And then that shifted into ways to change eating and ways to change mindset and all of those things. And it's just, I don't know, just always a work in progress, but doing great.
Good. That sounds awesome. Aromatherapy. How about holy basil? Do you use that a lot to just calm down?
I actually just put that on while we were sitting out there before we came in. It's one of my favorites. And I grow it too.
Oh, awesome. Now let's move on to Denise. Denise, tell us about yourself.
Sure. I'm Denise Cavalier, and I'm a work in progress overall. I am very much in a shifting lives here. But basically, I'm a grant writer and development specialist. I've done a lot of work for nonprofits, helping them to raise money to support their mission, and I do a lot of writing. I recently started my own business where I'll do a lot of different types of writing, including grant writing. But I also am into plant medicine and natural health. That's another sort of layer. I'm a mom of three. And my youngest is getting older, so my life is changing a little bit. So I'm really looking inward to what I like to do and sort of just getting in touch with myself again. So I have a lot of things going on right now.
That's awesome. A grant writer. I know that takes a lot of thinking and organization and time. And what do you mean by your oldest is getting older? I never heard it coined like that before.
Not my oldest. I'm sorry. My youngest is getting older.
Okay.
So she's now 20. So we're just entering a new phase, you know, where you're not really looking after young children and your life starts to change a little bit. And you have a little bit more time for yourself and you're sort of just getting in touch with yourself again.
Yeah, I understand.
So that's where I am.
I understand that. I am Dr. Joan Coleman. And this is the Xchange podcast. And the reason why we have this podcast is we want to uplift some people. We want to encourage. We want to just affirm and love on people, and that's why we're here. We're here to share our stories so they could say, hey, I can relate to that. I understand that. And so this is why we have the Xchange for women, exchanging ideas, exchanging thoughts. And that's what we're going to do today. I have a doctorate degree in education. So people say, are you a medical doctor? No, it's education. I have two boys, a 25-year-old and a 20-year-old, kind of like yourself. And they've been on their own since 17. They live with me, but they're grown, so I'm able to do what I want to do. I love to exercise. I love yoga. I love just doing whatever I want, facials, whatever. I just love that. I've been married for 22 years.
Yay, congratulations.
Yay, to the same person. And I've been running this business. My business is called Let Me Be Me. And it's a business just to empower people. And I've been running this business for 4 years. So it's new, it's a baby, it's getting legs, and I just love it. And this podcast is great. So I thank you all for coming out and being a part of it. So maybe we'll change some lives, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So let's do it. So Donna, what are some of your pet peeves? Because let's talk about a little bit about
pet
that.
peeves. It's funny. I just two people talking to me at once, which is interesting given this dynamic right now. But yeah, I have my constitution cannot handle that much input. I can only handle so much. I'm a very sensitive soul. Yeah, so two people talking to me at once, a lot of things going on that I try to navigate. So that's a big one, I think.
It's so funny because when I text Donna, she doesn't answer me right away. I'm like, oh, she's processing. She is processing. This is too much for her. And then it's not right. Is it like she's processing? This is too much for her. And then she gets back to me. And so, I understand that two people talking to you at once. So what's going to happen when all four of us start talking?
So far, so good. So far, so good. Yeah. And we've also established that I apparently need to have a freak out moment before any new change happens. So Joan has been front row seat to two of them thus far. So we're here. We're good though. We eventually make it. Yeah. So
change is difficult, right? Change is hard sometimes. And so it takes a minute. How about you, Carolyn? What are some of your pet peeves?
Oh gosh, that's a hard one. I think at home, I'm mostly triggered when I feel like people aren't listening to me. And then we'll talk about it later and they'll be like, you didn't say that. And I'm like, we just had that discussion 25 minutes ago or an hour ago. And they're like, no. And then they try to make it seem like you are like the crazy one. So I definitely, I want to feel like people are listening to me.
Do you yell a lot? Like, you're not listening to me.
Well, what they said is, again, my boys are teenagers. I repeat myself a lot. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe that's because when I come back to you, you're like, hey, I didn't hear you say that anyway. So I'm like, start listening and I won't repeat.
It's so funny. I do the same thing. I'm like, Mom, you already told us that. You already said that. It's just like boys are harder. They don't hear too well sometimes. So don't come for me. It's just a boy thing, How about you, Denise? What's your pet peeve?
I think my number one is probably rude people. Just people that come off rude, like for no reason, and just getting people to be kind to each other, I think is a real priority.
Yeah, rude people don't want nothing to do with them. It's just too much. But my pet peeve is like when you text somebody and you're waiting like to hear back from them. And I'm like, you just had the phone in your hand. You just said something to me. You just text me. Why aren't you answering me?
Yeah.
But I'm learning to deal with that, because it happens a lot. That's one of them. And then I hate when people flip. They're like, oh, we're good. And then somebody comes along, say something like, oh, okay. And they flip their ideas. And you're like, what? You just said that I was okay. I was right, So that's a couple of my pet peeves, right? Carolyn, anything you want to know? Ask some questions.
What did you do before you were doing Let Me Be Me?
I was in school forever, but before that, I was a teacher. I was a preschool teacher. So I taught little 4-year-olds, got them ready for kindergarten. And I love the kids. I love that. It's the adults. I had a problem with the adults because it's so political, and it's so much like do it this way, do it that way. Every week something changes, because I was in urban industry, urban kids, and then urban rules. So it was a lot of changes going on all the time. But the kids were always fabulous, always great. You had someone you had to say, listen, but they were, it was a good job. But I was like, it's time to go. I have a doctorate. I got to do some bigger things, on a bigger level. So you have any questions, Donna, for anybody?
For anybody. What's our favorite thing? Mine is travel. Being with my family, doing different things, seeing new things, getting me out of routine. So that's my favorite. How about you, Carolyn?
Being in my garden, I'm just, I love growing what I'm growing. I love seeing the bees and the butterflies happy. I'm very passionate about native plants and pollinators and supporting them, and learning patience with the squirrels and the other things that are destroying my garden.
Yeah.
But mostly my husband asked me to spend a little more time cleaning the house and a little less time in the garden. And I said, no.
Thank you.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. So Denise, what do you do for fun?
Well, travel is on the top of my list as well as it is on Donna's, but also I love the arts. So I studied theater and dance in undergrad school.
Ooh, okay.
And I love photography. So one of the things I do now, I live in the country and I take walks and I just take a lot of pictures. So I really love photography and just art in general.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. There's a lot of things that make me happy. I love to have fun. I love facials. Like I said earlier, I just love that for no reason. I do spend so much time in the bathroom. My husband is like, okay, I'm going to bed. See you in the morning, because I do face yoga. I do face yoga. I have the Gaia stone. I'm doing that, and I love like Sundays. Me and my husband, we go to Starbucks. We get our lattes and we sit in the car in the parking lot and just talk after church. We just sit in the parking lot and talk with our lattes. That's one of my favorite things to do. And I love the gym. I love the gym. I spent most of my week in the gym.
You do. You're on Instagram a lot in that gym.
4 to 5 days in the gym. Love the gym. That's my thing. That's my thing.
Like classes or
Classes.
Oh,
I do classes. Boot camp.
that's right.
I do spin.
Yeah.
I'm doing like handstand, whatever. I just they got it. I'm doing it, and it's so funny because I complain through the whole time. Like, why are we doing so much? Why am I exerting this much energy? And they're like, "Oh, Joan, you don't want to do that. You're exerting too much energy." And I'm like, "Yeah, why are we doing that?" So I go there for fun. I go there to tease and mess with them and act like I don't want to do the exercises, but yet I'm still doing it. Stuff like that, So, do you guys work out? Anybody?
I mean, I teach a lot of classes. I've taught thousands of yoga classes by this point, which is still absolutely insane to say because I can't even believe I taught one, let alone thousands. It has been a deterrent, I must say, in my own practice because you teach it so much and you give so much of yourself to everyone. You kind of feel a little bit tricky getting it yourself. But I love to dance. I love to walk. I used to belong to like 5 gyms because I was a teacher in all of them. But now I kind of just do all the things that just make me happy. I'm like, if I get up and dance for at least 10 to 20 minutes a day, I'm happy. The day goes well.
What kind of dance do you do? Do you do an
Yes, always,
dance?
you got to be sexy when you're home, right?
Do you hip hop?
That's right. It's time to shake the hips when you're home. Might as well. So yeah, I love tap dancing too, but I don't do a lot of that in my house. But yeah, you gotta have some fun. Just put on some music, put the buds in, and just go. It's a good time.
Denise with 3 kids, do you dance?
Not so much. Actually, I like to, but my children make fun of me because I'm not very good at it. I don't have that beat,
Well, let me see a shimmy. Come on. Let me see a shimmy.
She didn't know that was coming.
But I like to go bike riding, but I try to do like trails and not streets as much. I live very close to the towpath, Delaware Raritan Canal towpath. So I go on that a lot. And I also will drive down to the beach for the sunrise and then ride along the ocean when I can pull myself away from my garden. But that's actually how I met Donna, is in yoga. So I
Oh.
do a yoga practice at home.
Mhm.
I have a pretty severe ankle injury, so I have to be kind of careful what I do. And then I have like a stretching routine I do and stuff. So I'm not with the ankle, not so great at walking, but the bike still works.
Still works. Great. Denise, I know you're a dancer. Is that your exercise or do you do something else?
Not right now. So I really love Zumba, but I'm not doing it right at this minute. I'm at another gym that I go to with my daughter. So we do a lot of weights and I like the elliptical. So I probably go maybe 5. I try to go every day. And a lot of gym and exercise for me is serotonin. It keeps me feeling good and
Yeah.
feeling positive. If I don't exercise, it's just not good for me overall.
Yeah.
So I do that, but I do enjoy dancing and I would like to get back to at least Zumba so I've done, I was trained in ballet and modern dance and, I danced on point
Ooh.
but I'm short. So like short people usually don't make it in the dance world. But
Yeah.
one of the reasons I started to dance was as an outlet, like an expressive outlet. I had a lot of things that I was, in your growing up years and all that stuff
Yeah.
and you want to release. So
Mhm.
to me, the arts are very good at helping people to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The arts is fundamental. We need that, I remember when they were trying to take it out of school, but I'm so glad we
Yep.
still have it. And for Zumba, I would like to be a Zumba girl, but it's like they already know all the moves.
Oh, no.
They're already doing it. So I go in there and I just do my own thing. Okay, they're doing that now. Okay, and that's how I Zumba, just like that. So let's ask one last question. Where do you guys live? Because I really don't know, and your audience would probably love to know. Where do you guys live, Donna?
I live in Hamilton, New Jersey. I was raised in Trenton, New Jersey. If anybody knows the section of Chambersburg, they're known for a lot of Italian restaurants and stuff. That's where I was raised. And now I live in Hamilton with my family.
Oh, okay. How about you, Carolyn?
I live in Lawrence Township. I've actually only lived there for 3 years, but
Okay.
I was, born and raised in New Jersey, and pretty much every 10 years started kind of in Bergen County, and every 10 years I kind of moved a little bit more south. So here we are. My family still lives kind of North Jersey, so they like to make fun of me and say I live in South Jersey. Really,
That's
it's
a big
Central
debate.
Jersey.
Yeah. Denise?
So I was born and raised in Hopewell, and so a Jersey girl as well. But I live in Hunterdon County now, so Lambertville area.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a nice area too.
It is.
I'm originally from Jamaica, right? So I came here in 1980, and we've lived in Ewing Township since I've been here. So I've been back to Jamaica once or twice, maybe 3 times. And I'm just a Jamaican gal still here. You know what I'm saying? Let me hear your Jamaican accent, Carolyn.
We put her on the spot a lot.
I know. Why me? She's directly diagonally across the
You've got the hot seat. I have that.
Oh gosh. So guys, these are the ladies of the Xchange, and we are so excited. We're going to get into some topics. We're going to talk. We're just going to talk it out. Our first topic for our next show is going to be being true to yourself, self-preservation, and we're going to talk about how to handle that when someone comes and push you a little bit where you're not the person you are supposed to be. And then you got to come back. So we're going to talk about that. Other upcoming episodes, we want to dig into liars. What do you guys say? Liars.
Oh, yeah.
Liar. Hands
That's a
on
good
fire. And we want to talk about apologies. To apologize, not to apologize. Should you apologize to me or should I apologize to you? So we're going to take a look at that. And we want to look at setting boundaries. Right? We got to set boundaries or people will walk all over you. And so that's our upcoming topics for our next few shows. So I hope you'll join us. I hope you find us interesting enough. If you don't, it's okay. Still follow us. We'll be on YouTube. We're going to be on all the streaming platforms. Look for us there. All right. And we are here on CNJN TV. So check it out. All right. So we're going to round up. We're going to wind up. So Donna, do you have a business that you want to talk about? Donna is on social media. Tell them your business and tell them your handle for social media.
My handle is at Finding Your Own Magic. I'm on Instagram and Facebook with that. I do a lot of Instagram reels and have a lot of fun with that, and try to teach people that there's magic in every day, and you kind of just have to tune into that and see that. And hopefully moving forward, having a course on teaching people about acceptance of self, physically and mentally. So yeah, just moving along with at Finding Your Own Magic.
That's beautiful. And you should see Donna. She's doing cartwheels and stuff on there and dancing, and she's so funny. And she really digs into some really true topics that people really don't talk about, right? We just keep them suppressed down in us, and we just go on with life. But I just saw one with you talking about eating disorder, eating and that type of stuff. And that's really good because people don't talk about that a lot. So that's really good to get into. Carolyn, tell us about your business.
So as I said, I'm a aromatherapist. I'm actually finishing up just the last few pieces of my level 2 professional aromatherapy certificate. Have a little bit of a mental block. Maybe you guys can all help me get that done. And so I meet with people and I help them learn about, how to use essential oils to, up-level their health and deal with whatever they want to deal with, physical, psychological, mental, emotional problems, or concerns. And on Instagram, I'm Precious Botanicals is my handle, and my website is not working right now, so we'll just go with the Instagram.
Say the name again.
Precious Botanicals.
Okay. How do you find that a lot of people use botanicals for healing? Like, how is your business? A lot of people say, "Oh, I need that herb."
I think yes, a lot of people do. I think. Because I think people really want to be empowered to kind of take charge themselves. And I think one of the beautiful things about botanical medicine, whether it's herbs or essential oils and supplements and stuff, is it's very complementary to whatever other modalities you're using, whether it's traditional medicine. And so I think it's very accessible and it's a very affordable. And I think the empowerment is what draws people in.
And because I'm super curious, what led you to, you told us earlier, I think, with the children and everything, that's what led you to botanicals? Or was it something that you just like, I have this hankering to go into the garden and plant sage and herbs?
I hurt my ankle really badly, and I had one of my healers, it was a therapist at the time, she actually used some essential oils on my ankle, and it sort of started my healing, and that sort of sparked it. But once I got into it and I saw what it did with my kids is when I'm a scientist. I have my degrees in food science. It led me to go and say, wait a minute, there's something here. And then I did the deep dive and I said, oh my goodness. And then I just kept going.
So that's birth a new business. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. My son tried to say he's going to start a business, so he went out and got all these oils and aromatherapy. We made one batch of body lotion, and I haven't seen him since. That was done with that. Okay, Denise, tell us about your business.
Sure. I mentioned it earlier. It's called Right On New Jersey or Right On NJ. So I'm on Instagram at Right On NJ, and very, very new business. So very much into the development stages. I'm still working on my website. So eventually I'll get that up and running. And it's really just about, I'd like to branch out with my writing and not just do like grant writing, but to do creative writing for both for nonprofit and for-profit businesses. So helping them to get their mission out there, the work that they do, explain it to other people, do impact stories and things like that, people that are benefiting from those services, almost as like a marketing tool. So I really enjoy marketing and communications and helping people market their efforts to the public.
Now, when you were younger, did you like writing, or was this something you did? You love it. That was one of your passions.
And I used to like gobble books, crack my door and gobble books until, all hours. So I always liked reading and writing. But, when you have children, your life sort of your focus is very different. So now I'm returning to what I really love. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to ask you this. Do you do editing? Do you
I
edit?
do.
Okay.
I
all
do
right,
editing as well. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I
and-
just found the person who can help me finish
Yay.
my writings for my
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
here. I'm here.
and I have tons of stuff. I want to make a book, but you know what? I don't want to publish it on Amazon. Ooh, can I say that? Amazon? Well, I don't want to publish it on Amazon for some reason. I want like a real publisher.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
that Amazon is not a real publisher,
Well,
Yeah.
that
but
exists.
you know, a lot of
Yeah.
people publish their book there. But
Yeah.
in my brain, I guess from when I first started, I wanted like a publishing house or somebody
Yes.
to do that. So, do you have any contacts?
As far as publishing and professional editing, as far as publishing, getting,
Yeah.
I might have a couple people out there that I've worked with.
All
Yeah.
right, we'll talk
Yeah.
after.
Yeah.
See how it works, folks.
See
It's
how it
this
works.
easy.
Yeah.
We are so excited to be here. What do you wish to accomplish from this new venture? Talk about it, Donna.
I think anytime you put yourself out there and try something new, you just grow in ways you sometimes can't even foresee. It's like how I talked about yoga. Yoga opened the door to my current job as a fitness director at a senior center. It opened this job to public speaking sort of venues. I think just allowing uncertainty of letting things unfold, because it's so exciting to come here and think to have a platform to empower people. That's amazing. So just letting whatever is meant to unfold from that and having fun along the way.
Yes,
Yes.
we have to have fun.
Yeah.
I don't do not fun. So, Carolyn.
I agree with Donna. I think there's a lot of challenges in doing this kind of stuff for us that we can grow from. But I think it's wonderful that, our intention is to help empower other people too. So I think it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing to participate in.
Nice. And Denise.
I think it's the same thing. It's growth opportunities. This is a stretch for me to be on camera, to, be talking about myself. So yeah, this is a challenge for me. And I was so excited this morning, and I just thought this is meant to be. I'm really, growing in these ways. And again, I think all of us share that passion for helping other people to live their best life. And so I think it's going to be really fun.
I love it.
Mhm.
Anything to promote growth, anything to challenge us, anything to help someone else is always the way to go. And you ladies rock this episode. Listen, I know it's hard talking about yourself, but you did it. You guys did it. And so for our next episode, it's going to get even better. And we want you to look for us on CNJN TV. Look for us on the streaming platforms, Apple, Roku, Amazon. We're going to be there. And look for us on YouTube at Let Me Be Me LLC. And you'll see us there. So thank you guys for listening to us.
Thank
Come
you.
back. We want to talk about self-preservation next time. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.